Yeah, Lombo, the Colts drafted Anthony Richardson. He did not play a ton of games coming out of college, and now he got hurt, and Joey Flacco comes in, and he plays really well against the Steelers, and then he plays really well against the Jags. I don't think anyone's putting that Jaguars loss on Joey Flacco. How hard is it as a coach, as a GM, when you have this veteran who could potentially be playing better football than your starter, but your starter's young and is going to come back from injury? What do you think of the situation with the Colts and their quarterbacks?
Well, I think they have no choice, right? I think, look, Joe Flacco's the best quarterback. He'd be the best quarterback in Cleveland. They didn't even offer him a contract. He's the best quarterback on the Colts. There's no denying that. I think even Shane Steichen would admit he gives us the best chance to win. But we drafted a young man who's third overall in the draft, and he hasn't played a lot of football, and he's unique in his skill set. You know, he shows some incredible talent, but then there's a lot of plays that are just not good enough. And so they've got to go with him. I don't know how they work around it. I mean, Flacco is a great signing for them because he actually improves their offense if he has to go into the game in terms of their passing game. But what they want to become, what they want to be down the road, they need Richardson to have reps. They need Richardson to play because he's their future. But, you know, the Flacco story is amazing. It really speaks to perception in the National Football. Here's a guy sitting on his couch in Haddonfield, New Jersey, just up the road. You know, last year at this time, nobody can't get a job. He comes back. He leads the Browns to the playoffs, throws for 1,616 yards. They don't even offer him a contract because they don't want to upset their locker room with Deshaun Watson because everybody in that locker room knows he was better than Deshaun. So for me, I think Flacco has been great. I think he showed that quarterbacks, the more they play, when they get rest. This happened to Kurt Warner, too. When you stop playing for a little bit, your eye level goes back up. You're not looking at the rush, and all of a sudden, you're throwing this thing down the field and making plays. I give Flacco a ton of credit.
Yeah, you have a different perspective, too, whenever you're away from the game. Do you think the reason why the Flacco stuff happens is because how bad it ended with Denver and then how it went with the Jets?
Yeah, I think there's no question. You know, I think Flacco, as you know, people say, well, he's done, he's old. But when you watched him throw last
18
year,
miles an hour, 18 miles an hour.
He was throwing. I mean, here he's running. I mean, look, I just think he's really been good for them. And Steichen, sometimes I question whether what Shane does during the game and game management, but as an offensive play caller, the guy's a really good play caller and play designer, and Flacco gets the ball. Look, he got the ball down the field for Stefanski in Cleveland last year. There's nothing more obvious than just look at Flacco play in Cleveland to what their offense looks like right now.
Yeah, man. I love Joey Flacco.
He's the best.
I really enjoy
that's footsteps, baby.
As soon as he goes in the game against the Steelers, obviously very bummed about Anthony Richardson being out because he is electrifying whenever he's on the field. But there was no drop off in expectation. It's like Joe Flacco's good. We're good. Yep. We're good, and we were then. And then
you know the funny thing too, Pat, here about all this is we all hear about the Colts receivers, right? Well, they don't have a number one, and I know Michael Pittman's really good, but when you have a quarterback that can make plays like Flacco, all of a sudden Alex Pierce becomes a better player. Josh Downs becomes a better player.
Yep.
This is the biggest misconception about, well, you got it. The receiver the quarterback makes the receiver. You know, he gets the ball to where he needs to get it to, and the receivers make plays. It enhances the game. I think, to me, Flacco's been great, and he shows that they do have talent at receiver. How often this offseason we said, the Colts need a receiver? It didn't look like they needed one against Jacksonville.
Wide receiver can make a quarterback's life a lot easier, though, I think is why you see some relationships blossom more than others. But Alec Pierce, yes, he's been playing his best football for the Colts with Joey Flacco throwing the ball. He's going up and getting the big-time contested catches as well, like this one, but he has 3 in this game. He had 2 deep balls and then that one there that were massive. That was what he was kind of known for coming out in Cincinnati. Like, this guy will go up and get it. This guy will take the top off of it. They weren't able to connect for a lot, it seemed like. And then Joe Flacco gets in and boom, Pierce is down the field deep and he's scoring touchdowns. And then you brought up Josh Downs. It's like Josh Downs has the chance and the capability to be a real weapon at slot and at third down. And we always wondered, will it ever pan out? Will it ever pan out? As soon as Flacco gets in, Flacco's hitting him first 4 passes. He's like, we got this guy who's always open. It was really open things up. Michael Pittman, though, is dealing with a back injury.
Yeah,
I believe he's out. So we're gonna learn a lot, obviously, this weekend. All right.